So I trust that everybody got the three things I sent out
Yes.
by popular demand. And I'll go over the reading of them. The first was the prayer for Israel. The second one was the Birkat Hashachar, the morning blessings. And the third was Kaddish Rabbanan, which I've never taught, and I'm still working on that last section because it's in Aramaic, and so the words are not, they don't come that fast, but I am going to have to be the cantor in a couple of weeks for the Sukkeh de Zimra and Birkot HaShachar because he's going to be away. So I've done that once before, so I volunteered to do it again. And so now I'm part of his crew, the relief crew, which is wonderful. So we'll start in a few minutes, but so I did get in my cruise, I did get to Israel, but we had to take an excursion from the boat because they arrived in Ashdod, which is a straight line across to the center of Israel to Jerusalem. And everything closes up in terms of transportation around 2:00. So if we didn't take that excursion, we would have had to take an Arab taxi back, which would have cost us 2 arms and a bunch of legs and other assorted parts. And we already had one experience with an Arab cab driver. So we came back in time before Shabbat, and they had said that they were having Shabbat service led by congregants, or led by the congregation. So I said, am I the congregation? They had prayer books, they had wine, they had an electric candle that you turned at the bottom and it lit, and challahs and stuff. So they had everything set up for us. And we met with a bunch of other Jewish people, not thundering hordes, but we had a nice little service and we got to know each other. And so that was really lovely. There were 7 of us. We didn't have enough for minyan, but it was very nice. And it was a Reform prayer book, which I was trying to find the prayers because they were all scattered. But we managed to do a Kabbalat Shabbat and blessing the children and the candles and the challah and the wine and all the rest. It was really nice. So, I don't know about you, but it was raining like crazy here earlier. And upstate, they've had tremendous flooding in New York.
Yeah.
But here it just like all of a sudden, boom, and just started to rain like mad. Anyway, so I'm hoping that we'll see Denise, and who else? Dorothy, somebody. Thank you, Charlene, for sending. Was it Dorothy you sent to the link?
Yep.
It was great. Let me just see if there's no.
Ready?
I just wanted to see. I wanted to see if there was making this any bigger. Okay. There she is, the lady of the moment. How are you feeling, Denise?
I'm just antsy, I guess. I want to get my packing started and I can't do it right away, but half of the people are already there, half the women.
When are you leaving?
Sunday morning.
Sunday. Okay. So I got in touch with my region president, Barbara Kaplan, and she said that the people who are having the ladies who are involved in the bat mitzvah will have a link for relatives.
Yes.
So did you get that?
No, I haven't. Nobody's
Okay.
had it yet.
When you get it, will you send it to me?
Sure. Absolutely.
And I'll send it to your classmates.
Thank you.
Yay! Hooray!
My family wants it. My family wants it too.
Yeah, of course. There's Nancy. Hello, Nancy. There's Nancy. Hi.
Hello.
I can hardly see your face.
Here.
Yes, Denise.
Yeah, well, no, so is my dog.
Very happy. So is your dog. Denise sent her dog.
The
Okay.
grandparents' day got postponed till next Wednesday. I'm gonna miss it because I'll be in Chicago, but my husband's gonna go for him.
Oh, nice.
So-
All right. Don't get crazy. So how many lines do you have to do?
3.
Okay.
Yeah, you want me to say them? I have them memorized, you know that.
Of course.
Yeah, even the Rabbi Sella's gonna have the yacht and I'll follow her. I'll go at her pace, but I already have it memorized.
You want to spill your guts?
Yes, excuse me. Get her. Stop it. Ugh.
Is that your fan club?
When my husband walks down the hall, she barks at him. And yet she sleeps right next to him at night, every night. Smack up against him. Okay, here I go.
All right, here we go.
Now, if I want, what I would like you to do is tell me if I sound, I mean, I know I'm a beginner, but I'd like to sound like I've done this a little more than just what I have. So tell me how it sounds. Okay. This is from Devarim. It's verse 23. Vayitav be'enai hadavar yika mikem shenem asar anashim ish echad lashavet. That's it.
That's it. Every
Yep.
man will sit
I don't know.
under his tree, under his fig tree, but that's from Devorah.
But is that how you would read it? I mean, if I were reading from the Torah at the synagogue and if the rabbi were reading it, it would go a lot faster, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but you're
No,
not a rabbi. You're
necessarily.
not expected to go fast. And if you go
Right.
fast, sometimes I find if I'm going particularly fast, I'm going to say a word that I practice a million times wrong because
Yeah.
I'm not allowing my eye to read it. I'm just doing it from memory. And sometimes that trips you up. So that's great. Now, how are they going to work the bracha, the blessing, the Torah blessing?
Some of the women on Zoom are going to be doing it. They have this all orchestrated. All I know is I come after Ann Shinberg, and when she goes up, I go up. We're going up in group. I think we're going up in groups 5.
Okay.
And then when we're done, we go back and sit down. But then I told you I'm leading a Don Olam at the end. So at the very end, I got to go up.
So when you have the blessing and you're doing a Torah reading, so when you, I don't know if Rabbi Sel does it, when you are doing a Torah reading, before you begin, you go, Amen.
Right. And that's what Ann's going to do. She starts my verse or whatever. In other words, if somebody were
Okay.
doing this alone, she'd probably be reading the same lines as me. But they divided it up so we would all get a chance to speak.
Okay.
So yeah, Ann starts that way. And the first few verses, they start that way. I forget who goes first, but
Okay. Now, if you were doing the blessing, if you were doing the, Baruch atah Adonai, if
Right.
you were doing the Torah blessing, then you would not go Amen,
no, right.
right? So like, if I'm having the third Aliyah tomorrow with my 19 verses, it's almost a whole column. Yeah, I've been working on it for like
God.
2 weeks. So I won't know if they give me the Aliyah until I get there, but if they do, then I don't say Amen. I just do the Aliyah, and right after the Aliyah, I would go right into the Torah reading.
Right.
Okay.
But we've got everybody's going to get a chance to do something. So the Aliyahs are going to be done either by the women on Zoom that can't be there or somebody, I guess, whoever else is there, but I'm not doing an Aliyah.
Okay. So, but just when you go up and you're using the Yad, have you practiced using the Yad?
Now, they decided that Rabbi Sel is left-handed. So
Yeah.
she's going to be on our left, and we're just going to follow her yad. Now, there are women that have their own that want to use theirs, and they're not going to tell. They didn't tell them they couldn't, but I'd rather just go with Rabbi Sela. I mean, I don't have a yad
Are
anyway.
you going to be wearing a talit?
Yes, and that's my first time, So Anne is going to
Say
do the blessing.
Shehecheyanu?
Yes, she's going to do a blessing for me and put it on and all that. Yes.
Okay. So when you read, well, it's only the one that has the blessing that takes the seat and touches to
Right.
the first word
Right.
and then kisses. But if you're not going to say the blessing, then that's not
Right.
something you're going to be doing.
Yep.
That would be only if you're doing the blessing, and then of course, and then you don't do the Amen. But and the end, da 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 da, the last part. So yeah, it's fine. But read it. I mean, I know
Oh,
you
I
have
have
it
to.
memorized, but when she points out the words, actually read it just to make sure. That's your double check.
Yeah.
that you're saying everything correctly and they just not totally relying on memory because you are really supposed to read it and look at
Yeah,
it.
and I have been. She sent us a picture of the exact Torah that we'd be reading from.
That's very
So
good because
that
the
way I know what
writing
I'm
is
looking.
different.
Yeah, it is.
We can't see your face. Can you be like Little Miss Muffet and sit on a tuffet? Do you have a cushion or something? I can only see your forehead.
Are we talking, who are we talking about?
I'm
You.
talking about Nancy.
Oh dear, sorry. I was looking at Francine, who's not. Oh, okay, there
Okay,
she is.
hi,
Okay,
Francie. Okay, so why don't we
Okay,
get
I'm sorry.
started? So what you wanted to
wait,
do,
going back to Denise, did we figure out if we're gonna be able to watch this?
As soon as I get the link, I will send it to Carol. I don't have it yet. They promised,
and I'll send it to everybody.
Okay,
they promised we'd have it before Shabbat. So that doesn't give them a whole lot of time left, meaning tonight. Because
Well,
they're having Shabbaton while,
yeah,
the
well,
ones
that's,
that
they
are
can
there
send it
already.
out on Sunday. They
Well,
can,
yeah, I guess. Yeah, and I have my phone, so I can send it from my phone.
yeah, you know, they'll get it out, you know, somehow things get done at the last minute in lots of these things.
But yeah, like
so-
I said, everything else they've got covered. It's amazing how organized these women are. You gotta love women,
Yeah,
have
they
this
they
thing-
are organized. I mean, last year they had these women that have the group. There was like 3 or 4 cantors and they were absolutely wonderful, so beautiful. The singing and the harmony is absolutely just amazing. Now,
And they party. There's a lot of parties.
yes, they party in the halls. Yes, we do. We did like a little conga line when I was there and
Oh my
dancing.
God. By 9:30, I'm usually reading in bed. So this is gonna be an experience for me.
It'll be a wonderful experience. I think I've been to 2 or 3 conventions.
Yeah, I know.
It's always been fun, always been.
I know. Yeah, I know.
Okay. In fact, we had some downtime in one that was in New Jersey and they had a nice pool. So I said,
Ah.
well, I'm not going to go back to the room and just do nothing. So I went swimming.
Well, I'm supposed to- they
Came back,
promised that-
changed. Yeah.
Lamore promised she'd teach me how to play mahjong. If I want to be a real Jewish woman, I have to know how to play mahjong. And
Who's going to teach you? Your roommate?
Lamore Wasserman. She's one of
She's
she.
another teacher, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, listen, next week, I'm going to be in Colorado. So
Okay.
well, we won't have class next week. I will send you a reminder. It's my son's 50th birthday.
Oh, how
And
nice.
so, his brother and his sister and a very good friend and my husband and I are all going out to celebrate him. And that we're leaving on Friday. And I have to do a run with somebody who I help with the garbage. I have to take her to the store. So I've got to do that early and I've got to get her out and back quickly because we've got to leave with enough time to catch a plane. So we will. Okay, prayer for the state of Israel. Now, if you look at the English, there's all kinds of nice things. I had pulled out some of the easy vocabulary that I thought you would know, like Medina is state, and they call the political name for Israel is Medinat Yisrael. It's a political state. And Eretz Yisrael is the land of Israel. I'm just reading a book right now, which is very interesting. It's a novel, but it's written by a man. This is his pen name. And it's called The Last Testament. And his name is Sam Bourne, Bourne, like Bourne, Sam Bourne. And his name is, I think, Friedland. And he wrote a big scholarly book. He's from England, which is called The Escape from Auschwitz. And it was about 2 men who were the only ones to escape from Auschwitz. And it had a gigantic bibliography in the back with lots of footnotes. And it was wonderful. That was a scholarly work. And then he apparently has novels that he writes, like Intrigue. This one happens to be about Israel, about finding a clay tablet, and they're in the midst of peace talks, and it's the last will of Abraham. And if it says that he bequeathed Mount Moriah to the Jews, then that would derail the peace talks because the Arabs would say, well, we have no stake in this, and you're claiming all of Israel and the West Bank too. Anyway, very well written. So he's a good novelist and he's a good researcher. Okay, prayer for the state of Israel. So Medinat Yisrael, as opposed to Eretz Yisrael, which is the landmass. Sur, like we have that a lot. There are many names for God. One of them is Sur, rock. So we have Ma'oz Sur, Rock of Ages. And here it is. Okay, so the beginning is Tefillah. The name is Tefillah Lishalom Medinat Yisrael. Tefillah is a prayer. Le for Shalom, the peace. Medinat Yisrael, for the peace of Israel. Okay, so it's translated prayer for the state of Israel, but it's really for the peace. That's why I say there's like little, in translation, things get slightly different. So prayer for the peace of Israel, to me, is different than prayer for the state of Israel. Okay, because what are you praying for the state? You're praying for peace. Okay, so tefillah l'shlom medinat Yisrael. So the first line is Avinu Shabashamayim Sur Yisrael v'goalo barech et medinat, and the next line is Yisrael. So, Nancy, you want to read that first line and the first word on line 2?
Well, that's the part I know.
Start with Avinu.
Avinu Shabbat Shamayim Sur Yisrael v'goalo barech et Medinat Yisrael Reshit Smichat Geulat.
Okay, so separate that syllable.
Geulatenu.
Very good. And then the
Isn't
last words.
Hagen Alecha.
Very good. Okay. So Avinu is, what does Avinu mean?
Oh, I'm so sorry, guys.
What's the matter? Oh, the phone. What's Avinu?
Our Father,
Our Father. Okay, our Father. She hu ba in Shemayim. A Father who is where? In heaven.
Yeah.
You have a prayer in Christianity that you know that starts like that?
our Father, the Our Father.
The Our Father, right? So it's the same Father that they're talking about. So one Father.
Absolutely, that's right.
When I was in elementary school and we had once a week, we had to wear a white blouse and I think a red, it was a midi blouse and a tie and a blue skirt. In those days, the principal from his lectern would start with a reading from the Bible. It wasn't from the Chumash, it was from the New Testament.
Mhm.
And they would say the Our Father prayer. So I kind of learned it because it was every week. Okay, so Avinu Shabashamayim, Sur Yisrael, the rock of Israel, V'goalo, and Redeemer, Barech. What does Barech mean? Like it's from the root, Baruch is from Barech.
Blessings.
Bless, exactly, bless.
Me.
Oh,
Et you don't translate because it's a direct object coming, Medinat Yisrael.
bless
Okay,
the state of Israel.
Hagen Alecha, Hagen, and you know when I wrote the Hagen, shield. So you have Magen David, the wine, right? We call it Magen David. It means the shield of David. Magen David, King David, shield of David, Magen David. Okay, Goalo, and that's the redeem, Gaal, is in a lot of prayers, Gaal Yisrael, redeem Israel, Hagen. So protect her, okay, shield or protect, okay, Hagen Alecha. All right, so the third line, Francine, you want to read that third line? That was really nice, Nancy, nice and fluid, beautiful. Yofi.
Thank you.
Yisrael, that's where you want me to start?
Start with the third, Be'evrat.
Okay, I was on the wrong line.
Okay,
Evrat, Hasdecha, Ufros, Alecha, Sukkot, Shlomecha, Ushle, Ushla,
Mhm.
no, nor, oh,
Orcha, orcha.
Orcha.
Okay, so, chasdecha, we talked about the chasidim, the pious ones, so compassion. So I don't think I put that one down, but, that's what the chasidut and chasidim have to do with compassion and righteousness. So, be'evrat chasdecha uferos alecha. Feros is shield, and shield you with a sukkot shlomecha. Now you all know what a sukkah is. It's a little hut, right? But in this case, it's a sukkah of peace. So shield you with a sukkah of peace. And the here, spread, ferocious spread over it, this shelter of your peace. I once did recently at a sisterhood Shabbat, I did a little interpretation of that phrase from a prayer that comes from Friday night, because it's one of my favorite expressions in Hebrew. And I love my sukkah. I love building it. I hate taking it down. So the expression Sukkat Shlomecha, when I sit and eat in the sukkah, and you look up through the schach, through the things that are hanging down, and you can see the stars, it gives me a tremendous feeling of oneness with nature and God and growing things, squirrels and the birds. It is just a feeling that I can never duplicate during the year, which those days of Sukkot I have. When I go into my sukkah, it is for me a very spiritual experience. And I look forward to that every year. And getting closer to it now, it'll be in probably October, which I love. And I decorate it, and I put flowers in it, and I put all kinds of cards, and it's just a wonderful thing. So the chasdecha ufaros alecha, and spread over you, you Israel, sukat shlomecha ushlach, and send orcha. So or is light. By here, by he or. Okay, so it was evening and it was light, or cha. The cha on the end means you. You know, and it's interesting that sometimes, like when it says aleha, sometimes in the Torah, they speak of Israel with a feminine and sometimes with a masculine ending. So cha is a masculine ending, or cha, and spread ushalach orcha, and spread your light. Okay. Line 4. Okay. Diane Gessler, would you like to be line 4?
All right, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. The amitcha liroshecha sareya v'yo.
Sareha.
Where are we?
Third word. Sareha.
Sareha v'yo aseha v'taknem be'etza tova.
Okay. But amitcha comes from the base word emet. Emet means truth. And here it says, guide its leaders and advisors with your light. That's the orcha, and your truth. Amitcha. The rashecha, to your rosh is your head, to your leaders, to your head people. The rashecha, sarecha are advisors. The yoatsecha, again, advisors. V'taknem be'etza tova, and give them, etza is advice, tova, and give them good advice. So this is a prayer that it appeals to the worldliness of the state of Israel, because it's saying, you know, bless the state of Israel with light and truth, and give its worldly leaders seichel tov, give them good sense, give them leadership. This is very important. It says strengthen the hands of those who defend. Okay, that is a little further on. But earlier it says, guide its leaders and advisors with your light and your truth. Help them with your good counsel. It's very important to have good leaders, right? So they don't lead you into war or lead you astray or just try to get their own name by conquering others and riches. I mean, so it's very practical. Guide the leaders. I like that. Okay, so if line 5 starts with Milfanecha, how about Diane Stacy?
Okay.
Fine, Milfanecha.
Milfanecha hazak
Hazek.
hazek
Mhm.
et yadei migi ne eretz kad shenu.
Now, words that come from the root kadosh have or in it. It's kod.
Oh,
Kod
kod
shenu.
shenu.
Mhm.
Okay. Vehan chi lame.
Very nice, very nice. So milpanecha, so v'taknim, so give them etzatov, give them good advice before you. Chazek, what is chazak? At the end of reading one of the books, you say chazak, 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 vanid chazek. So
Strength.
strength, might, chazak. So chazak, and this is here it is not a noun, here it is a verb. Chazek, strengthen, yadei, migine, eretz kochen. Strengthen what is your yad?
And
Hand. Strengthen the hands of migine, the defenders, like Magain, the defenders, because Magain David is the shield, and there's lahagain is a verb. It means to protect, to shield. And so this is a noun, chazek yedei migine, the defenders of Eretz Kodshenu, of our holy land. Okay, so this would be the IDF. Okay, we're giving a blessing to the Prime Minister and the Minister of Defense and all the leaders and the soldiers. It's a blessing for who else is the defenders? It's the army, right? All branches of the army. Those are the defenders. So chazek et yedei migine eretz kodshenu vahan hilem. Okay, so let's see. The next line is 6. Denise, our bat mitzvah girl.
Oh, God.
Mhm.
Eloheinu. She,
Yeah,
Shoah.
Yeshua,
Vatovra.
what's your vowels? Va'ateret,
Va'ateret.
yes.
Nitzachon.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go slower. Terem.
Train, te'at, train.
The Venatata.
Mhm.
Shalom.
Okay, so deliver them, it said crown their efforts. So ateret nitzachon, that's a nice phrase. And atara is a crown. And from these nouns, you have verbs. So the ateret, and crown them with nitzachon, victory. So when they do go to fight, crown their efforts with victory. It says, strengthen the hands of those who defend our holy land, the IDF, deliver them, crown their efforts with triumph. Okay, if you're going to have to go to war, be victorious. That's what it's saying.
Mhm.
You ever see like in a sports event, football players seem to do this a lot. They get in a circle, they kneel down, and they have like a little prayer, a little team prayer. Okay, and so this is like, okay, Team Israel, this is the prayer for the country. All right, and that was very nice. And the last line, Ba'aretz. Francine? Line 7, Ba'aretz.
Ba'aretz. Sure.
That's a sin, you're right.
V'shimcha,
Simchat.
simchat,
Mhm,
olam,
mhm.
le, yosh, vat,
Ve,
techa,
veha,
veha,
good.
v'no, mar, amin.
Okay, so at the end, no more, it's a future, and we will say, translated, let us say, amen, let it be so, amen, okay. So, it was from Barech. Bless, let me see where it is. Bless the land with peace and its inhabitants with lasting joy. Okay, Simchat Olam, everlasting joy. Simcha, come to my Simcha, it's the bar mitzvah, it's a baby naming. Simchat is the happiness of eternal happiness. Simchat, with Simchat Olam, liyoshvecha. So Yoshev means to sit or dwell. So they're saying, and bless the land with peace and its inhabitants with lasting joy. Omar, amen. So it's really nice. So now we're going to do it once more. I'm going to read and you're going to read it after me, and we're going to pick up the pace a little. We're going to read the whole thing. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Okay, so this is Tefillat, the Shalom, Medinat Yisrael. Pick one. Okay, line one. Avinu, Avinu Shabashamayim,
Avinu Shabbat Shamayim,
Sur Yisrael v'Goalo,
Sur Yisrael v'Goalo,
Barech et Medinat Yisrael,
Barech,
Reich et Medinat Yisrael,
Reshit Tzmichat
Reishit Tzmichat
Geulatenu,
Ge'ulatenu,
Hagen Aleha
Hagen Ulecha,
Be'evrat Chastecha
Be'efrat Chastecha,
Ufros Aleha
Ufros Alecha,
Ukat Shlomecha
Sukat Shlomecha,
Ushlach Orcha
Ushla Orcha,
Va'amitcha
Ba'amitcha,
L'Rashecha
L'Rashecha,
Sarecha
Sarecha,
V'yoatzecha
Yoatzecha,
V'taknem Be'etza Tova
Name Tova,
Milfanecha
Milfanecha,
Chazek et Yedei
Hazek et Yadei,
Miginei Eretz Kodshenu.
Meginei Eretz Kodshenu.
You see, like the bigger kamats under the kuf, that means you're going to say it like oh Kodshenu. Gahan Chilem
V'chan Hilein
Eloheinu
Eloheinu,
Yeshua
Yeshua,
Va'ateret Nitzachon
Ve'ateret Nitzachon,
Ta'atrim
Ta'atreim,
V'natata Shalom
V'natata Shalom,
Ba'aretz.
Ba'aretz,
I can't see myself. It's Ba'aretz. I'm sorry. V'simchat olam
V'simchat olam,
liyoshvecha
Le'yoshvecha,
v'nomar amen.
V'nomar Amen.
And there you have it. Okay, so they really covered all bases. Bless the army, bless the president, the prime minister, bless, and the Yoshvecha will have peace and security. Alavai, it should only be. All right, now, is there one among you who would like to read the whole thing and show up, Nancy?
No,
You're the one who requested it.
I know, but I certainly am not gonna show off and saying the whole thing. Oh, does anyone want to join me?
Oh, a duet, how lovely. A daring duo, Batman and
Yeah.
Robin.
Okay. Avinu Shabbat Shamayim Suri Yisrael v'goalo. Berei et Medinat Yisrael Reshit Michat Geulatenu Hagain Alecha Be'evrat Hasdecha Ufros Alecha Sukat Shlomecha. Okay. Ushlach Orecha Ve'amitecha L'Rashecha Sarecha Ve'oatzecha Ve'yoatzecha V'chak name.
Tak,
What?
the tak name.
Oh, v'tak name, right, you're right, v'tak name. Ba'atza, ba'etza, tova, milfanecha, chazek et yadeh megine
Mhm.
eretz
Code.
code. Oh yeah, code. Right,
Code.
right. Code. Shenu. Bechan Hilaim. Eloheinu. Yeshua. Ra'at. No, Ve'at.
Va, va,
Va'ateret. Right? Va'ateret.
good.
Nitza. Hone, Nitzahon, Raim,
Frame.
yeah,
Atrame.
Raim, Venatata, Shalom, Ba'eretz, Vasimchat, Olam, Leyosh Veha, Venomar Amen. Oh my God, that was
Yay.
painful. Oh my gosh, who else
Wow.
wants to
Good.
try?
That was great.
Now,
boy.
now you know how it feels when a Torah reading finishes the Torah portion. Tomorrow, after I finish my 19 lines, I'll be like a rubber band is just broken side of me. It's a cut. Okay, so that was great. And I don't interrupt because I know, like when I'm reading, if I'm reading Torah and somebody's interrupting me and correcting, it throws you off.
Right,
You have memorized it in a sequence, and when you hear them interrupt, it just breaks your concentration. And usually, like, somebody makes a mistake and they go back and they read it again and they correct themselves. So you really don't have to do that, because I think it breaks up the flow of the reading because you're really concentrating, really hard. That was great. Okay, so that's a very nice prayer for Israel. Now, the second thing was the Birkot HaShachar. Now, bracha, means a blessing. And I am using this, I like from my Sim Shalom page 10. That's what I gave you, the Sim Shalom page 10. So the blessings of Shachar, anyone know what Shachar is?
morning.
Actually, Shachar is dawn.
Okay.
Dawn, early in the morning, right? Dawn blessings. Okay. So, and we have from the word Shachar, we have the word Shacharit, the morning prayer. So when it's being recited by the cantor, mostly the congregation just says Amen at the end of every bracha. So it goes like this. It says, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. And that's the beginning. You can see, take a look down the page. That is the whole beginning of every blessing. So you're on solid ground on that. You can't go wrong with that. They all start like that, so that gives you confidence. And then we just have like 2 or 3 words that are different at the end of each of the blessings. And they're very interesting ones. So the first one, and then it goes, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lasech vina lahavhin ben yom uven laila, which says, who, asher natan lasech vi. I told you this once before. That's a cock-a-doodle-doo. So we are blessing God for giving to the rooster, Natan, who gave la sechvi. Sechvi is a rooster. Vina, knowledge, lahav chin, to know the difference. Bain, between, yom, day, u, vein, and between night. Okay, so it's a blessing on God for giving the cock-a-doodle-doo, for making roosters wake us up in the morning. Okay, so let's all say, Baruch atah Adonai,
Elohim,
Baruch atah
Na Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam,
Elohim,
Eloheinu
melech
melech
haolam,
haolam,
asher natan lasech vivina, asher
asher
natan
natan
lasech vivina, lahavchin ben yom, lahavchin ben yom,
ben yom
ben laila. Then the
Laila.
congregation simply says Amen. So if you want to read it silently, you want to practice your reading while the cantor is zooming through this, zoom, zoom.
You,
And
yes.
Yashakoa. Okay, so here's the second one. So these are all very practical blessings to start the day. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sha'asani b'tzalmo. Tselem is an image. So this one is saying, thank you, God, for making me in your image. Now, that's not exactly true because we don't think of God as being corporal, of having body, but I think they mean a spiritual image, that we have a soul and we have a brain. So that Tselem is an image. Okay. So Shehu made me, She'asani, Be in Salmo, in his image. The next one is Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sha'asani Yisrael. What do you think this one is? Blessing God for making me a
Jew.
Jew, Yisrael. And there it doesn't distinguish between men and women, but it will. It gets better. Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sha'asani, who made me. Now, here's where we differentiate. Ben is a son of Chorin, freeman, or Bat Chorin, like a free daughter, who made me a free woman. Okay, Sha'asani, and so that's when we women say Bat Chorin. Okay, that's why it has the choices. The next one is Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Pokeach Ivrim. Pokeach means opens, and an E there is a blind person. We talked about this once before. Pokeach Ivrim, like opening the eyes of the blind. And as some of you have suggested, to deeper meanings of things, like a person who, like a blind person, supposedly has better hearing and the tactile sense. Okay, so and reach and smell. So someone who loses a sense, it seems that the others have fortitude, are strengthened. Okay. So opening the eyes of the blind. Anyone want to offer any other interpretation? Pokeach Ivrim.
Well,
Oh.
we're all blind to some things. And so it's really opening everyone's eyes to the world around them and maybe see things that we haven't seen before.
I think that's beautiful. I think it's wonderful. I went to celebrate my husband's and my birthday. Mine was on Monday. We went to Broadway and we saw a wonderful, wonderful show. We saw Some Like It Hot. Now, if you've seen the movie, if you've never seen the movie, it's really funny with Tony Curtis. It's just great. But this was a modern interpretation. So it's a black man and white who are friends from childhood. They're buddies. They dance together. They do everything together. And they play instruments. They want to get hired together in a band. They witness a murder, and the only way they can save their lives because they happen to come in on a mob boss killing a couple of people, and they know they're going to get killed too for being witnesses. So they want to get out of town. So the only way they can get out of town is by joining this girls' band that's going to California. And so here's this whole thing with the cross-dressing. So they dress up with wigs, and they put on makeup, and they put clothes on. And they are accepted by the women as a woman. So we have in the play, though, the update is this. You have a black man and a white man being very good friends. So you have the color thing, like Francine saying, opening your eyes. The audience was an older audience, and they clapped wildly and hooted and whistled. And at the end, it was a standing ovation. I mean, it was like a Saturday night audience. It was packed. It was a matinee. And so it goes on, and they're taken as women. So later on, I mean, if you've seen the movie, so the one who's the singer with the band is a black woman. And the white guy falls in love with the black woman. So we have this racial barriers being broken. And the black man is tall and slim, and he's, dresses, the two of them are dressing all the time as women. He, a very rich, a millionaire, falls in love with him and as a woman. And at the end, I remember Joey Brown played the part of the millionaire. And at the end of the play, and when he reveals, he takes off his wig and he says, I'm really a man, because he proposes to this supposed woman and gives her a ring, wants to marry her because he loves her. And then he says, nobody's perfect. It was the end of it in the movie, which was, I guess, shocking at that time. So at the end, I read of the end of the playbill, I had little notes written by the cast. And and he won an award, a Tony, for this role that he played. Wonderful singers, wonderful dancers. And he said something about, and in the play, he's telling his friend, I like this, he's Daphne instead of, Jerry. And he says, I like this ideation of me. I like who I am. I'm comfortable in this being a woman. He had a wig and the clothes. And in the notes in the back of the playbill, he said something about shedding light on or encouraging people to be who they are meant to be, accept who they really are on the inside. And I thought that gave a lot of insight. So I was wondering if the guy who's playing it is a transvestite, if he is trans in some way. But they were so wonderful. And I loved how they modernized it. So give light, gives understanding to the blind. So people who are, prejudiced, maybe open their eyes a little bit. It was just wonderful. I think everybody should see that show. It's amazing. Okay, so opening up to the blind. Pokeach Ivrim. Then the next is Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Malbish Arumim. Now this goes back to Adam and Eve. Malbish is who dresses, Arumim, the naked. So when we give old clothes, to charities, we are doing a mitzvah. You are giving clothes to people who may not have socks or undershirts or shoes or whatever, jackets. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim, who frees the ones in prison. So if you've just come out of jail, you can tell the rabbi you'd like to say a special blessing for yourself who comes out of jail. Matir, who frees asurim, and those who are imprisoned might be mentally. There's been a lot of the shootings that have taken place have been people who are not mentally stable. And this says frees those who are imprisoned. So that is a terrible imprisonment if you have a mental illness. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, zokef kifufim. Zokef is straightens, and kifufim who are bent, straightens the bent. The cruise that I went on, I saw a lot of people using these titanium poles. There's some poles, like walking poles, not that tall. And they were able to walk straight. It's terrible to have to see people hunched over because their back hurts, but they were walking, these people were walking. There were people with wheelchairs. There was even a guy who was on a gurney who was, really ill and had oxygen. His family wheeled him around everywhere. So who straightens those who are bent. Okay, can mean many different things. Physically, it could mean people who have an evil inclination, people who are sociopaths, people who are mean. When I was teaching in a junior high school, there was a kid one day, he was bragging about how he had a BB gun and he was shooting birds. And I said to the kid, that's really cruel. That's a terrible thing you're doing. And I guess his parents never said anything to him. I said, you're going out of your way to kill and maim. And these are creatures with life. So I think, parents have a big job, especially with junior high kids. Okay, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Roka haaretz al hamayim. This refers to creations. Roka is stretching out the land over the water. So this would be when the continents and countries were formed in the beginning, in creation. Then the sky, because there's no more water. You had sky, you had the dry land, continents, and the waters were gathered up. I always think of it as those old-fashioned washing machines. You see the washing machines with the circular thing, and the water would be going around in the suds. And I thought, like, if you push the water down, that's probably what it looked like at creation. So now there's a sky that shows, and the rest is collected into land. That would be the towels and the jeans. And I always thought of that. And I used to tell my kids in the Hebrew school that. Look at the old washing machines. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, ha-mechin mitzadei gaver. A gaver is a man. Ha-mechin is guides. Mitzadei is the steps of. Matzad is a parade. Who directs our steps. So gives us guidance. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, ozer Yisrael bigvura, who gives Israel givura, bravery. Who gives Israel bravery. And Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, oter Yisrael b'tifara. So I have to look that one up. Girds Israel with courage. Ozer Israel b'tifara. And the last one, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hanotein, who gives, la ya'ef koach, who gives the tired strength. Koach. And I think we could all use that a little, koach. Okay, and when you say to somebody, Yasher koach, it means may your strength increase. Yasher koach. Or to a woman, tasher kochech. May So they may say that to you, Denise, as bat mitzvahs. Okay, and that's the end of the morning blessings. So let's do a round robin. Everybody's gonna say a line. Okay, and I'm gonna start with the top and I'm gonna go down this way. Okay, so Diane, Stacy, read the first one. And if you want to chant that da 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 da. That's
Baruch
beginning.
atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan laseh ni
Lasech di
lasech ni.
V, Lasech V, it's a Vav.
Oh, okay. Lasech vi
Yep,
vina lehav hin bein yom uvein
like, very nice. Okay, well, I'm the next one. Diane Gensler.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sha'asani b'tzalmo.
Good. Okay, Nancy.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asini Yisrael. Sani Yisrael.
Good. Okay, Denise.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'ashani
Sunny.
she'asani
Mhm.
asani bet
Choose which one.
bat horaz
Corinne.
read.
But Corinne, very good. Come on, Charlene.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam
Hokeach.
pokeach
Ivrim.
ivrim. Okay,
The ayin is silent. Ivrim. That's
ivrim.
open up the eyes of the blind. Okay, Francine.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam malbish arumim.
Beautiful. You have such a lovely voice. Have you done singing in the past in a choir or anything? Francine,
In high school, I did.
in high school? Okay, well, if your synagogue ever has a choir, you should be in it.
Oh, thank you. I
Yeah.
can't keep it tuned like I used to.
Yes, you can. You have a lovely voice, really beautiful voice. Okay, and we're back to Diane, Stacy.
All right. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim.
Perfect. Boy, I have a great group of readers here. You guys are great. Okay, Diane Gensler.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zokef kefufim.
And she's got a Zion and a Cook and a Final Pay. Oh
Mhm.
boy, and she said it perfectly. Excellent, Nancy.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam roka ha'eretz al hamim
Mayim.
hamayim, right?
Very good, Mayim. Okay, so I was just gonna tell you a little anecdote here. My birthday was Monday and I did Israeli dancing. They had a session with one of the congregants is an Israeli dance teacher, so I went. And I had said to them the time before, I'm gonna bring a birthday cake and something to drink and we'll celebrate my birthday. So I came with my little tablecloth and all my cups and plates and everything, even candles, but we wouldn't do that. So I made an apple cake, big apple cake, and gave it out with some tea, iced tea. Somebody came over to me and said, I know the policy of the synagogue is you're not supposed to bring stuff from home. I said, well, my house is kosher, so it's not a problem. Yeah, she said, but I think, did you ask? So I said, let me tell you a little bit of philosophy here. Somebody once told me this a long time ago, and I rule my life with this. If you want to hear a no, just ask.
Yeah.
So I said, no, I didn't ask. I just brought it in and just enjoy it. I said, I know what the answer was going to be. Why should I, we wanted to have a little something nice. And then they said, oh, this cake is so good. It's so good. Who made the cake? I said, I made it. I peeled the apples.
If your house is
Thank you.
kosher, if you keep kosher, why does it matter to your synagogue? Because I don't ever bring anything because I can't keep kosher.
Because they have no proof. I don't have a mashgiach here, and the stuff doesn't have an OU on it or whatever. I mean, it was parv. I didn't use any milk in it. It just had some orange juice and some oil for the. But that's general, policy. The rabbi doesn't want to get scolded that, oh, you're letting things in, kids bringing snack in and you don't know, there's no control, and blah, blah, blah. And the kashrut says, okay, I know it's good. I know my kitchen's okay. Said, you want to hear a no? Just ask. And I've done that, when I wanted to do something crazy with my classes or something like that, but just do it. I was dancing on a desk once and singing a Carmen Miranda song, Cuánto me gusta, me gusta, me gusta. And I don't know if I had a bowl of cherries on my head or something, but I, and then walk the principal or whatever. That's just fine. Okay, where are we? Charlene?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Now I lost my place.
She'asani. I'm sorry, She'asali. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines up.
Okay.
Sa
She'asa
li
li
call
all sor
he. She'asali calls, who provided for all my needs. The word in Hebrew, anid sarich, means I need sricha, I need. Say so. Sarki are my needs. Okay, and seen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. I just lost my place.
Hamechin.
Hamechin mitzadei gaver.
Very good, very good. Okay, back to Diane, Stacy.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Ozer Yisrael Bigvura.
Nice. Okay. Okay, and Diane Gensler.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Otzer Yisrael b'tivara.
Tipara. Okay, and everybody, let's do the last one. 1, 2, 3. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hanotein la ya'ef koach. Here's hanotein la ya'ef to the tired one. Koach. So if you want to say I'm tired in Hebrew, you say ani ayefa. I'm very tired. Ani ayefa me'od me'od. Okay, ayef to the tired one call. So it's in the masculine, okay, because all things in the prayers are masculine. When they talk about God, it's in the masculine. Except when we did the prayer for the state of Israel, because the word Medina is feminine, Medinat Yisrael. When they say like towards her, it's aleha, it had a feminine ending, not alecha. So it's interesting. The Bible is not strict. The Chumash is very messed up when it comes to gender. You could be reading along and go, that's not right grammatically, but they didn't put it through they didn't put it through a scrutiny on that. Now, we only have a few minutes. I just want to say that what I gave you, okay, So the this Kaddish Rabbanan, what we do in our synagogue is if there's not a minyan, I usually get there early. I'm usually there at 9 o'clock. But if there's not a minyan in the beginning, they skip this page and they go back to it after we've studied, after we've done the Torah readings. Then we go back. Because it says, Kaddish Rabbanan, recited after the study of sacred texts, contains a special prayer for the well-being of teachers, their disciples, and all who study Torah. So it's appropriate that even though it's on page 111 and we're way further in the Siddur, the rabbi will say, okay, just hold that page and let's all go back to 111 because we just finished the Torah service, and then they read this. And this is in Aramaic. And the hard part, me, I can say the regular Kaddish quickly, but there's a part here in the middle that's in Aramaic that I'm not familiar with yet that well, but I'll be doing it, in front of the congregation, I think August 11th or something like that. So we probably, the morning's Kaddish, Yit Kadal, V'Yit Kadash, Shemei Rabbah, B'Yomah, Dibrach, Yerutei, V'Yamlich, Malchutei, V'Chayechon, U'V'Yomechon, U'V'Chayei, L'Chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'Galav, V'Zman Kariv, V'Yamru, Amen. Now, most of you can probably do that pretty fast. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevarach La'olam La'olmei Omaya. Okay. Yid Barach, V'Yit Tabach, V'Yit Pa'ar, V'Yit Famam, V'Yit Naseh, V'Yit Hadar, V'Yit Aleh, V'Yit Halal, Shmei D'Kudusha, V'Yichu. La'ela min kol b'yarchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata damiron v'yomar amen. Even though this is Aramaic, we have heard it so many, many times that we can say this, a lot of us, fluently. All right, now, this next paragraph is the paragraph that I have to study more. Now, the Aramaic words and Hebrew words are similar. Like Shemaya is Shamayim, heaven. And even in the Haggadah, there's halach ma'anya, halach ma'anya, achalu avahakana. That part is in Aramaic, and you can pick out the words. Lachma is lechem, anya is oni, lechem oni is bread of poverty, which is matzah. So you can start to figure out when you look at it. So this one, we can figure out some of the words, at least I can, and I'll give you some of the words that I can figure out. And I gave you the English too. Al Yisrael, for Israel, but Al Rabbanan would be its teachers, Al Talmidehon. So Talmidim in modern Hebrew is students, Talmidehon, and for its students. Al Yisrael, Al Rabbanan, Al Talmidehon, Al Kol Talmidei, and for all the students of Talmidei Hon, for all their students, V'al kol man the oskin. That's the part that I be'oraita di va'atra hadain v'di bechol atar va'atar. So atar va'atar, when I look on the English, is supposed to be country to country, and in any country. Yehei lehon Ulachon Shlama Rabba. Shlama Rabba would be great peace. Give them great peace. Now, here's some words that I was able to figure out. China is grace. The chista is like chesed, which would be kindness. The rachamin, rachman, compassion. The chayin would be chayim, life. Arichin, aruch, chayim aruch would be long life. So these are nice things to wishing you should have. Umezunan, I don't know what that means. Ravicha, uforkana min kodam avuchon di vishmaya, that would be in heaven, b'shamayim, ve'imru amen. Okay, so we have the words kindness, grace, compassion, and I think that part in English. May heaven, may you and they be blessed by our Creator in heaven with. Here it is. Great peace, grace and kindness, compassion and love and long life, abundance and deliverance. And we say amen. That's for all those who study Torah. Talmidim and the Rabbanan, the rabbis and the rabbi's students, and the students of the students, so in generations. And so that could be parents, because the parents learn when they're kids, and when they grow up and they have children, then they're the teachers of their own children. So this is generational. So in generation, so it implies to me here that from generation to generation, you will be studying the Torah and the prayers, right? So we are a nation of teachers. And it's not any wonder that there's so many Jewish teachers around, because it's in our DNA, right? To be teachers at least to our children, if not certified teachers in public school, right? I'm a teacher. I've been a teacher for more than 50 years. So that's part of who we are. We're teachers, we're social workers, right? We that's a job. That's very much rabbis,
Nurturers.
nurturers, right? So that's the part that I would say to study, because that's not something that third paragraph, the third paragraph, I would say, because that doesn't come quickly. I have to practice that so that comes out of me fluently. So when I'm standing in front of the congregation and I'm the cantor for the first part of the service from 9 o'clock to like 9:30 or 9:40, it's like 40 minutes straight Hebrew. And I did intersperse it when I did it once before with a little bit of English, which I thought was really appropriate. It was something I had to read about Miriam Hanaviyah, the prophet Miriam. And that was after talking about the opening of the waters. And I read that part in English. So there's some parts that are really nice that I would like to say to the congregation in English, because they don't know what they're saying. And they don't translate it. They just zoom through, right? They zoom through. But there's some parts that are really, really nice. So it's 2:35. I won't see you next week. I'll be in Colorado. And
Have a safe trip.
Thank you. Oh,
Yeah.
there was a desperado. Wait. Oh, there was a camp song about a desperado, and he went into Colorado to give the West a rest. Okay, so have a good week, have a good Shabbat, and
Right.
treat me kindly
Think
tomorrow.
of you with your 19 lines tomorrow. Boy.
Oh, my goodness, my goodness. I'm gonna just do it fast and spit it out as fast as I can. To get rid of it, I have to like. And
You'll be great.
Denise, you have a whole bunch of friends with you.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
We will be with you, cheering you on, thinking of you, and going mazel tov.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
So that should give you a little feeling of courage.
Oh, yeah, I'm not nervous. I'm just,
It's just excitement.
yes, yeah.
And you'll
Okay.
have,
Thank you, everybody.
it's gonna
Thank
be
you.
wonderful.
Yeah, I know.
Enjoy.
You
I
give
will.
us the link, we will be watching.
I
and
will, as soon as I get it.
rooting.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
Okay,
you,
Shabbat shalom,
everybody.
everyone.
Mazel
Right.
tov.
See you in
Bye-bye.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat
Bye.
shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom, Charlene. Bye.
Shalom.